Hey guys, I just really quickly wanted to come and let you guys know that I am actually working on some reaction videos. Had a little bit of an issue earlier this week with recording some of them. Kind of sucks. But like I said, more reaction videos are coming. I am definitely still working on them. But I also want to change up a little bit on the channel and add a little bit of different content like I've been talking about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, vodcast, whatever you want to call it. I enjoy doing them. I'm probably going to do some more. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. If you do, go ahead and make sure you drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell for post notifications. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the new podcast. I appreciate everybody's support. All right, let's see how this works. So I decided to go ahead and for this first episode, I've actually got it recording on both Audacity for audio and Streamlabs for video. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, time for I guess it's time for an intro. Hey guys, Soss here with the first podcast, hopefully a mini. So today's episode is simply called Disconnect. And part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and do this one, especially this one first, was because I was thinking a lot about it whenever I was disconnected. So what ended up happening? By the way, I'm going to try and do most of these in just like one take. I'm not going to do very much editing on these just because of the fact that I plan on talking for quite a while and everything. And if I were to sit here and try to edit every single episode, I'd be sitting here for an eternity trying to do all this crap. So I don't feel like doing that. I'm very I don't even know what to say. It's not low maintenance or anything. It's just I like to low effort, I guess, for lack of a better term. So that's why I try to keep everything pretty simple. But so anyway, part of the reason why I wanted to do this one first before all the other ones was just because this happened super recently. So if you know me, most of the time, like I would say probably about 90 to 95% of my entertainment is based off of the internet. Like that, I'm talking Netflix, I'm talking Hulu, I'm talking Disney Plus, I'm talking YouTube, a lot of YouTube actually. And I found myself about a week and a half ago, Oklahoma actually, let me digress. Oklahoma had some like pretty bad winter weather-ish, like really bad freezing rain and knocked down a bunch of people's power lines. I feel so bad for everybody who lost power. I was one of the lucky ones that didn't lose power the whole time. However, about 3 days in, whenever everybody else lost power, I lost internet. And maybe it's a clouded sense of, I don't know, just I guess sense of what I have. It sucked. It sucked so bad because for one, I couldn't record or do any reaction videos, which is what my channel mostly is reaction videos. Well, now it's become reaction videos. So I couldn't do any of that because I couldn't connect to YouTube. Like I couldn't stream anything. Now, granted, I could still create these podcasts and stuff, but the main thing I wanted to do was keep creating reaction videos and that stuff. Mostly because I'm trying to match the algorithm so that I can get my name and stuff out there, get my face, get my voice. As bad as it might sound to me, other people seem to like it sometimes. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird, but because I was trying to ride that train, so I was doing a lot of MGK reaction videos because that was the popular thing at the time. It's still, those videos still get quite a bit of views actually now that I think about it. But the thing is that as soon as I hit that algorithm, all I wanted to do was pump out content. So I was pumping out content pretty much every single day. Granted, it was a little straining, but at the same time, I enjoy doing it because even if I do get a little bit tired and even if it does get a little bit obnoxious sometimes, and by obnoxious, I mean like having to set aside the time because I still work a full-time job. And so I have to basically rearrange my whole schedule all my free time. I have to schedule that around being able to do these reaction videos. And a lot of these I want to do blind. So because I want to do them blind, I have to wait. And I had to wait for a week. Now I have Cox Communications as my internet provider, and I pay for the highest tier, which is not cheap. But part of the reason why I do that is because I like to on occasion stream. That part of the reason why I got it was so I could stream, and I'm actually going to be trying to stream a little bit more frequently and whatnot. But anyway, so because I stream and I watch a lot of Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and I've got my PC, I game a lot, so I was getting tired of having lag. So of course I get the highest tier of internet, and guess what I can't do? For about a week. Mind you, I just paid my bill. And my bill, just to give you a rough estimate, is over $100 a month. Just paid for it. And guess what? Couldn't use it. Couldn't do anything. It was terrible. But I learned a few things during this disconnected time. I relied on my phone a lot. And so I was constantly having to check to make sure that my phone had a decent percentage, because I was going to have to use that for all the internet. So if I wanted to watch some music videos or something, I had to basically plan my entire night around it, and it sucked so bad. I think the thing that I missed the most was being able to watch YouTube and Netflix not on my phone, because I mean, watching on a little screen, like this little screen and everything, it sucks. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I mean, I've worked hard for what I have, and whenever I'm not able to use it, yeah, I do get a little salty about it. Granted, I should have probably been thinking about everybody else. Obviously, I was. I mean, I felt bad for my friends who lost their electricity and everything, even though I still had it. But even though I felt bad, it's still, I mean, at the same time, I was partaking in and enjoying my internet, and then it got cut off. So I almost kind of feel like it was kind of coming to me, because like I had it coming, because of the fact that like that I was just enjoying the fact that I still had electricity and everything when everybody else didn't. So just so you guys know, even though I didn't ever lose electricity, I still lost my most precious form of entertainment, my internet. And so I was very sad. But what it kind of made me do was, luckily I had some bunny ears, and so I watched, for those who don't know what bunny ears are, that's an antenna. So I used my antenna to be able to watch TV. But I found like, I started watching like Bob's Burgers and Simpsons and stuff like that. Just anything that I could find that I deemed at least decent entertainment. And most of the time I was messing around with my phone anyway, whenever I was watching these shows. But I did come across some like really bad old 90s sitcoms and stuff. And I actually had a good time watching those and everything. It was one of those things where I started to appreciate what I had during the disconnect. And so because I was starting to appreciate it and starting to almost get used to not having it, of course, that was about the time that it came back on. And just like in those old sitcoms, you know how they always have like this tragedy or something that happens, and then by the end of the episode, they've come to a solution and everything. Well, I equated it to like if I was watching a sitcom about people who I guess lost their connection to everything, and then all of a sudden like they were getting used to not having it, and then all of a sudden it comes back, and then they low-key kind of want to still be disconnected. That's kind of how I felt. I still felt like I kind of low-key wanted to be disconnected, because disconnecting made me feel so much more empowered than before. And what I mean by that, like social media, oh goodness, I have a love-hate relationship with it. For a long time, I was wanting to be, for lack of a better term, since I was never popular in high school, then I kind of wanted the popularity and the fame that came with social media. I mean, think about it this way. This is how I think about it too. I My nickname is Soss, and I have this awesome like gamer tag slash user handle for most all my socials, which is Sauce's Boss. So because I have that, I'm like, well, I mean, I should take advantage of that and use that to my advantage and try to become popular. I have failed miserably. Like it's bad. And the thing that kind of bothers me most about it is just that for a little while I feel like I kind of lost my way. And that was part of the reason why I enjoyed being disconnected. It's because I wasn't as into getting the likes, getting the subs, getting the comments and everything else. I was kind of enjoying my little mini disconnected vacation. Like it was kind of nice. And by kind of nice, I mean like really nice. But for whatever reason, I felt like whenever it came back on, because of the fact that I do put out this content on YouTube and I started becoming really consistent with it, I felt like I'd be doing a disservice to everybody else if I didn't get back on the train and try to start creating content. But in that disconnect, I got comfortable. I got super comfortable. And the problem with that isn't necessarily the fact that I did get comfortable. It was the fact that like I got complacent and low key kind of started getting kind of lazy. I started thinking about it, and all those times that I record a YouTube video and hope and pray that one of my reaction videos isn't going to get copyright blocked. I didn't have to worry about that in the disconnect, you know? It was dope. It was an amazing feeling. It was very freeing. The disconnect was very freeing. And I think that I'm going to try and start doing something like each month or so. Probably take a week off of social media and just completely disconnecting and just, you know, hanging out with my friends, enjoying their company and stuff. Be more involved and be more present because as weird as it might sound to some people, disconnecting made me feel more present. Made me appreciate things a lot more too. Sorry guys, like I keep having to move my mustache out of the way because it keeps low-key getting in my mouth and it's really obnoxious. But yeah, so going back to just the whole like desiring things from social media. Now, one thing that really kind of sucks too is that like for one, I have high expectations for myself. I have high expectations for what I put out. And whenever I can't do that like the way that I want to, I get angry and upset with myself. And then I feel like I need to punish myself in a way. And I honestly don't like it. I don't like the fact that I feel like I need to do that. But I still continue to do that. So yeah, your boy's got to do some growing. And part of the way that I feel like I would grow the most is in the disconnect. Like disconnecting from the shackles of social media. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows that social media is awful when it comes to this. It's an addiction. Definitely is an addiction for me. And I'll probably talk about social media in another vlog, or not vlog, podcast. But like, oh goodness, it destroys me sometimes because I am one of those people who, this is going to be me being super vulnerable and open and honest, but I hate it whenever I'm like trying to get a hold of somebody or consistently talking to somebody or just needing something from somebody. I can't get a hold of them through other mediums of communication stuff, but yet I see them posted on social media. Like, it's just bothersome. But I would be very hypocritical if I got too upset about it. That's why I don't always get upset about it, because of the fact that I kind of do the same thing unknowingly. I don't realize that I'm doing it, but I still do it. And that's something that needs to change. I need to be more open with people and be able to communicate better. And part of that comes from being disconnected. And a lot of that is because of the fact that whenever I was disconnected, it actually made me feel good because I didn't feel like I had this pressure to talk to anybody. Didn't feel like I had this pressure to put anything out. I felt so relieved. So relieved. And I know a lot of you guys don't like to hear me say that, but I get so tired sometimes, like trying to pump out all the content that I do, because I do it all. Every single bit of this stuff. And I'm not looking to gain any sympathy or garner any sympathy or anything like that. I don't want anybody feeling bad for me because I bring it upon myself. I try to keep myself busy so that I don't go into like depressive states, or if my anxiety is too high and everything. That's another reason why sometimes I might not be able to post content and stuff. But yeah, no, I put a lot of pressure on myself. It's all self-inflicted. But the end game, whenever I do get to put stuff out, is what makes me keep wanting to put it out. As soon as I see all the views and everything, like I'll be tired and exhausted and not want to put anything out. And then all of a sudden I see the views spike up. I see subscribers spike up. I see things going viral. Viral for me is different from a lot of other people, by the way. Because viral for me is like 5 to 10 views. And that just makes me happy. But that's also because I'm a smaller channel. But either way, though, that's what I need. That gives me the energy boost to continue to push out content. Like tonight, I'm actually recording this on a Sunday evening. And one of the things that I ended up doing was I was playing some video games with my boys, with the boys. And I ended up dipping out early, because for whatever reason, the servers were lagged and everything, and it was losing its fun factor for the night, so I decided to take a break. But also because I really wanted to push this content out, because I had just recorded a reaction video. And also the fact that, real quick, I gotta show this off. If you're listening, you're not going to be able to see this, obviously, but if you're watching as well. Okay, so this hat, got wood. This shirt I'm wearing, it's a dope shirt. If you are in the Tulsa area and you have a chance to go by either the Jinx location or the Bixby location, definitely go check out Gotwood, and in Bixby, Gotwood too. Definitely go check those places out. I've been supporting Gotwood since the beginning. I actually got lucky enough to be able to, since I am so close to the owner, I got a chance to go check out how the shop was, and whenever it was a shop before it became an axe throwing lounge, in both the Jinx and the Bixby locations. They're run by Jason, and that dude, shout out to you, man. Jason has been in my life for probably about 5 years now, at least 5 years. Because whenever I joined up with the Beard Club that I'm in, Bearded Villains, he actually reached out to our chapter in Oklahoma, and from then on, at the time he was doing beard oil. He's still doing beard oil, Summit Grooming, and I have no problem plugging him. Even though I have my own company, I have zero problem plugging him, because that dude has supported me and supported all my endeavors. And it's just nuts. He literally is like family to me. So if you guys want to go have a fun time and throw axes, and by the way, if you've never thrown an axe, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Talk about a good way to disconnect. Oh yeah. Talk about a good way to disconnect. Just go and start tossing some axes. If you don't know how to, they got coaches up there that will show you how to. It's so much fun. I don't get to do it as much because my right wrist, I have some issues with it sometimes. And so whenever I'm like tossing that axe, if you can't see it, I'm making a tossing motion. But whenever I toss that axe and everything, sometimes my wrist gets a little bit sore and whatnot. Don't know what it is from, but yeah. But either way, I still like to support him because he's a good dude, and they are good people over there. It's a great family fun atmosphere. I will actually drop a link to the website and to their Instagrams below in the comments section. Not in the comments. Wow, I'm an idiot. In the description. And definitely would recommend going and checking that out. Um, I also have a hoodie and I got multiple other shirts from Gotwood because I'm a big supporter of local, just local companies and everything. I always believe in supporting local before anything else. And so obviously that's why I have them. Half of the merchandise that I own and half of the apparel that I own is all Gotwood or even Morningwood. He actually owns Morningwood coffee as well, which is fantastic. You can get it in whole bean or ground. And honestly, yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for that too. Just because we all like to help each other out here. But anyway, so back to being disconnected. So I have realized that the times in my life that I feel the most solace and the most mentally prepared for things and the best mentally is in the disconnect. Because then I feel like there's no expectations. The only expectation is that there are no expectations. Like whenever I disconnect, I can just focus on myself. And a lot of times, everybody that knows me knows that for better or for worse, lately for worse, I typically put everybody else before I typically put everybody else before myself. I know it's bad, but I've always done it. I'm a big giver. I love being able to like give gifts, and I love to be able to see somebody else benefiting from something that either I've given to them or done for them. It's an amazing feeling. And so sometimes, obviously, whenever I disconnect, I get to focus on me. Like right now, I decided today that for the most part, I was going to try to stay off of social media. Just like anybody else, though, I suck at it sometimes. I suck in my my ability to stay disconnected, even though that little connect button is right there. It's so tempting, and sometimes I fall into that temptation, and then I hate myself for it afterward. And yeah, and then I start spiraling, and then it's all bad from there. But no, that's the main thing, is just that like it sucks because I feel like I don't take enough time to myself. And whenever I was disconnected for that week, I took so much time to myself to the point where like I was actually starting to enjoy myself again. I know it sounds bad, and I'm not trying to take this into like a really dark place, because that's going to be on a later episode whenever I start talking about anxiety and depression and all that good stuff. I say good stuff, bad stuff. But the thing is just that like I can't stay disconnected for too long, or else my mind starts just going haywire and not so good things happen. I honestly, I don't like the person that I become whenever I am disconnected for too long. So I'm still trying to find that balance. Still trying to figure out what I need to do to be able to not only live a happier life for myself, but to be able to bestow that on others. Because actually, another time that I got disconnected was a while back. I want to say it was during the summer. During the summer, I actually... Sorry, work, for letting everybody know this, because it's pretty much common knowledge. But I was actually the first one at my branch at my work to test positive for COVID. Granted, I only had like flu-like symptoms for not even 24 hours, but I ended up testing positive. And because I ended up testing positive, they had me quarantined for 2 weeks, and then I couldn't go back to work until I got a negative test and a doctor's note. And so I was actually gone for 3 weeks. And that was a time where I became really disconnected. Part of the reason why I felt like I was disconnected was because, I was upset at myself for letting my team down and for letting my coworkers down. Because the thing is that like everybody that I work with, doesn't matter how long we've known each other, if you work there, then I feel like we're family. I feel like we're close. And I would literally do whatever I could in my power to make sure that you guys are good. That's why there are times where whenever I'm at work and stuff, I don't have a significant other. I don't have any kids or anything. So I'm willing to sometimes, mind you, sometimes I'm willing to stay later just to help other people out. Because like if it's the difference between you getting to go home earlier and me, I'm gonna let you go home quicker than I am, just because I know that everybody else has other things that they need to take care of. And yeah, I know I need to take care of myself a little bit better. I'm getting better at that. I'm trying to. You guys can't see me pointing. But the thing is that like a thing that really sucked about it was that I wasn't ready to just go away. Like I don't feel like I'm very vital sometimes to the operation, but I am vital at the end of the day. Because as much as we all joke around and everything, at the end of the day, the job still has to get done somehow. And so I like to try to do my part to get that taken care of. And since I was gone for 3 weeks, I put that load on my coworkers. And it just sucked, because part of the reason why I felt disconnected was because I was told not to tell anybody, because they didn't want to raise panic. And I understand that. I get that. And they didn't have all the information that they did now back then as they do now. And so I get that. I get that they didn't want to raise concern and stuff. But it killed me. It killed me because it meant that I would have to lie to my friends. And I don't like lying to my friends. I like to be honest because I like to keep that trust there. But I had to lie to my friends and say that I don't even remember what I even said half the time, because it gave me this big old pit in my stomach. But yeah, so but that disconnected time, whenever I wasn't going to work, that was whenever I was creating my company, Soss Grooming, because I had to do something. I had to do something. I can't just sit still and not do anything. I created that company within a week, and then I waited till after the quarantine to launch it. Super stoked about it. Still pretty stoked on it. Didn't gain as much traction as I thought it would, but it's okay. I mean, it's still a massive success in my book because of the fact that I'm still going on with it. I'm still putting out products, and I'm still trying to push out everything that I can with it. But the main thing that kind of killed me was just the fact that whenever I was done with quarantine, I didn't want to go back. And part of the reason why I didn't want to go back was because I really enjoyed being able to just kind of chill by myself and enjoyed time by myself. But at the same time, I hated it because I felt like I couldn't hang out with anybody because I tested positive and I didn't want to put anybody at risk. So I didn't hang out with anybody. Didn't do anything. And it made me really sad. But it also, like before the disconnect and before I quarantined, I was not doing so great at work. And I will be the first to admit it. I don't know what was going on with me, but in the disconnect, I realized I got this newfound like appreciation for what I did, and I was tired of feeling like I wasn't good enough. So guess what I did? I kicked it into another gear. I came back and I started doing a lot better. It was like a complete 180. I even changed my mindset and I became more positive of a person. However, whenever all this internet stuff disappeared for a little bit, and even a little bit before that, I started digressing again. And I wasn't developing or progressing like I thought I should. And I was really upset with myself. Still upset with myself, to be honest. But the main thing is, you got to find that balance. I don't mind being disconnected as long as I can find that balance. And that's what I'm going to try and keep doing, is continue to try to find that balance. Because being constantly connected and being constantly like me, trying to push out content, constantly moving, constantly going, gets exhausting. Like right now, I am exhausted. I am so tired. But I enjoy putting out content, so that's why I'm still up. And it's not like super, super, super late. It's not like it's like 2 in the morning and I'm like burning the midnight oil doing this. No, it's like 11 o'clock. But after this, I'm probably going to start getting ready for bed and everything. But like I said, the main thing is whenever it comes to disconnecting and finding yourself, don't waste that time. If you find yourself disconnected, make sure to find the silver linings. That's one thing that I need to continue to try and do. I need to continue to try to find the silver linings in things. And a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about can be found just disconnected. Like right now, I'm not doing anything except for recording for the internet, recording for you guys so that you guys can see me vulnerable. And so it's just, I don't know, it's a weird thing for me. I don't necessarily like being disconnected because of the fact that I constantly feel like I need to like I feel like if I disconnect from things, I become irrelevant. That's why it was killing me to not put out content, was because I felt like I was becoming irrelevant. I mean, I am irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but I don't like to be made aware of that. I don't like to be I don't like it to be obvious that I am irrelevant a lot of times. But like I said, if disconnecting means that I grow as a person, then I got to continue to do that. I do have to continue to do that. And moving forward, if there's like a week or so that you guys don't hear from me, try not to worry. More than likely, I am okay. I'm just trying to find myself again and be a better version of myself. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture and realize that things aren't as bad as you might think. Or at least not as bad as I might think, because I accidentally exaggerate things quite a bit. But again, that's for another podcast. But I think that I'm about to just call this one quits, mostly because I feel like I've said disconnect about 50 million times. But yeah, if you are listening to this, I appreciate you listening. Because I am so long-winded, I felt like podcast would be a pretty good thing for me. Even if this is like the worst podcast you've ever heard, I'm so sorry. I'm just kind of winging it because I've only heard a few podcasts in my entire life. So I'm just kind of winging it. If you guys have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. I'm going to be posting the video version of this, obviously, to YouTube. Not sure what I'm going to do with the audio version of it. I'm going to see if I can upload it to some form of streaming. But, yeah, so most of you guys are probably going to end up seeing the video part. But either way, of course, make sure you go ahead and drop a like if you like this video. Comment down below. Let me know what you want to hear about. Give me some ideas on podcasts and everything, and I will see what I can do. In the near future, I kind of threw it out on social media, obviously. I threw it out on social media a little fishing line, I guess. I don't know. And I have several people that want to be involved in this, and so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it happen. At some point, I'm going to be able to get multiple other people on the show, and we're going to be talking about random things. I'm going to try to keep it, honestly, to about 30 minutes or so, 30 to 45 minutes, just because I honestly, as much as I talk, I don't even know if I could talk for that long. Who knows? Maybe I will be able to. Maybe I won't. We'll see. This is a work in progress. Uh-oh. Yeah. My headphones were coming out, and I was playing with my gauges, so yeah. So make sure you like this video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also hit that subscribe button. And then press that bell for post notifications so you know every time I upload a video. I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent with it, even though I am pretty consistent with it. But yeah, I'm going to try to be more consistent with it and everything. But as usual, as in all videos, I am rambling way too much and keeping you guys for way too long. So if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll catch you in the next one.